360 round. We're taking a look at Palantir, that has surely been a winner in 2024. To discuss this and more, Dryden Pence is with us, Chief Investment Officer at Pence Capital Management, and Jordan Berger, analyst over at Third Bridge. Thank you both for being with us. So, Dryden, I'll start with you. We've been watching Palantir, PLTR, the ticker symbol there. It is down about 5% today, but has been a winner. What do you think about when you think about Palantir for the big picture?
So when we're looking at the longer term price history for Palantir, longer term perspective here, we're looking at the weekly chart for Palantir Technologies Incorporated, stock ticker PLTR. So here we can see that recently, the stock has broken above some fairly significant long-term highs with these recent moves higher. Specifically, this range break here to the top side came when the stock broke above the 29.29 highs, which posted during the September 2021 trading period. More recently, we have seen prices slightly breach that level, but we have still not been able to overcome this $30 mark, which has been quite elusive for the stock. So here we will look at some of the fundamental analysis that underlies these recent trend moves, and then we will also identify some important support and resistance levels that can be used for real-time trading strategies for this stock.
Well, I think your important comment is the big picture. When you think of Palantir, you think very long term. This is a company that, we like companies that are at choke points or have strong competitive advantage. And this is a company that allows people to really visualize data in different ways. And that's why they're very strong governmental contracts. They allow you to basically take data and information and convert it into intelligence. That's actionable intelligence. And I think that that's very, very important. They've been quite successful with the military, familiar with that thing. But now the big picture is, how do they monetize that in a more civilian world where they can go B2B, where they can go beyond just being a governmental contractor and be really a company that is more dominant in data visualization for everybody, whether it's AI, whether it's any type of security systems or any type of data information. That's going to be a big question. How do they make that full translation from a primary government contractor, the contractor, to everybody? Long term, we like it. When you think about it right now, you have a company that's probably shot up a lot, and valuations are a little lofty at this point. It's how we're looking.
So when he's talking about valuations, he's really talking with one of the key issues that really relates to this company, which is the forward PE metrics. As of the Friday close, the current PE metrics for this stock come in above 230 price to earnings ratio, and that sort of elevated territory is really astronomical. What it does tell you is that the market overall does have very high expectations for this stock, but when you're dealing with those types of price to earnings metrics, you are dealing with scenarios that tend to be a bit more risky than normal. If you're looking at more stable large cap companies, you'll very rarely find a mega cap stock that maybe trades above 30 or 40. But the current PE metric for Palantir is really off the charts at above 230 at the moment. So this is one issue that could provide some headwinds for the stock going forward, and it does provide some key risks that investors could encounter when trading this stock over the longer term.
And maybe it moves with AI and Mag 7 too. I mean, for example, Google's down today after its quarterly report. That too could be dragging this name down. Do you see growth potential, Jordan, for Palantir going forward? And are you worried about the valuation?
It's interesting tracking the story of Palantir right now. As mentioned, they've really cut their teeth in the defense sector, moving into the commercial market, really at a nexus in their story, considering they were working on doing so prior to the generative AI boom. So moving towards the AIP platform and seeing how that's been picking up has been of great interest to us. We speak with experts as often as we can every day to try to get a sense of how that traction is picking up. And it's really, at this point, looking at the use cases, the initial boot camps that are being used by customers and how that's really picking up. So as long as we keep seeing those use cases coming in, I think that does bode well for the company's ability to make that pivot.
So when he's talking about valuations, he's really talking with one of the key issues that really relates to this company, which is the forward PE metrics. As of the Friday close, the current PE metrics for this stock come in above 230 price to earnings ratio, and that sort of elevated territory is really astronomical. What it does tell you is that the market overall does have very high expectations for this stock, but when you're dealing with those types of price to earnings metrics, you are dealing with scenarios that tend to be a bit more risky than normal. If you're looking at more stable large cap companies, you'll very rarely find a mega cap stock that maybe trades above 30 or 40. But the current PE metric for Palantir is really off the charts at above 230 at the moment. So this is one issue that could provide some headwinds for the stock going forward, and it does provide some key risks that investors could encounter when trading this stock over the longer term.
From the defense market to the commercial market, you do see growth here for this name, Jordan. Would you say it's a buy at $27? I mean, it has had a significant run up this year.
Yeah, Nicole, we're obviously looking at a nascent market here with the generative AI tailwinds, and trying to understand that is, of course, its own problem. At Third Bridge, what we do is, rather than give investment advice itself, we really speak with experts every day to get an understanding of where the market seems to be going and how these products are being adopted. And from what we're seeing, Palantir seems to have really a unique product. They have their approach with ontology, which is basically just operationalizing organizational know-how in a way that's been thought of as somewhat unique. And as we see a lot of players moving into the space, whether it be C3, the hyperscalers, or all the nascent generative AI companies, we haven't heard of anything being approached quite in this way and data being visualized quite in this way before. And that's what we've really been looking at.
So he sort of shies away from giving specific investment advice or from picking specific price targets. As we can see there in the video, the share price has fallen a bit since that video was posted. These declines have occurred since then, falling to lows of $23.75 from the $27 that's mentioned in the video. However, I will mention some specific price zones that I've been watching here. So in particular, the main price level that I'm watching here to the downside comes in at $24 per share. The reason that I'm looking at this level is because it marks the 618 retracement of this dominant trending move, which can be found on the 4-hour chart. And then in addition to that, we do see that this 200 period exponential moving average roughly coincides with this area as well. So currently, we have not seen a full break and close below this level, but we have seen price spikes below here. So ultimately, if we do see a daily close below this $24 mark, I do think that we have to start to look at a potential downside target of roughly $22.50, because this would open up scope then for a fuller retracement back to the 78.6% Fibonacci retracement of this dominant trending move.
Yeah, and then look, I mean, getting that exact research has so much value that Third Bridge is providing with that. Year to date, it's up nearly 6%, 60%. We will hear the earnings on August 5th. Dryden, you think that the company is a good company. I don't know how worried you are about the valuation at this point. If you're a big believer in AI, do you buy them all? Do you buy Palantir, Adobe, Salesforce, CrowdStrike? Well, I don't know about CrowdStrike. It's been really beaten down. But do you buy them all, or do you pick and choose?
But I think the real question here is timing and pricing, right? So there's so much opportunity within the sector. I think rather than trying to buy them all at once, I think that you can take a look at where we're going right now with a little bit of market repricing. You take a look at interest. You make your money when you buy something, right? So you want to get good entry points here. You do have stretched valuations in this particular name, in our opinion, but that doesn't mean there's anything wrong with the company. I think they have very good long-term capabilities. They are unique in what they offer and what they have. And as they make this transition to business, it's a very, very, there's only so many governments in the world, right? And they pay their bills, but there's a lot more businesses than there are governments. And so there's a lot of people that can use what Palantir has in the future. So the long-term prospects are good. My only caution here is that valuations at this point can be a little stretched, and you just want to be, sometimes patience is rewarded. So it's a good company, but you got to be willing to have a little bit of a volatile ride on the pricing of the stock. But if you're thinking about it very long term, then you're looking at a company that does have a dominant product, and a unique value proposition and the ability to allow people to visualize data and information and turn it into actionable intelligence. And that's a very strong long-term prospect for somebody.
Our High Value Trading Strategies membership is currently available for a limited time for only $9.99 per month. These high conviction investment strategies are characterized by superior risk to reward metrics that target massive market beating returns over time. Join now to outperform the market, lock in this special introductory rate of just $9.99 per month for the entire lifetime of your membership, and start trading stocks with the pros.